Welcome to Recovery Day Yoga. I'm Jess Rowe, and I'll be leading you through this practice. This practice will help you work your muscles just enough to boost blood flow to support your recovery, and then through deep breathing and slow stretches, you'll work out any remaining sore spots so you can feel amazing and get some great rest tonight so you can be well rested and recovered tomorrow. Let's get started. Start seated on your mat and just take a few slow, deep breaths to ground yourself here and set your intention for this practice. Hopefully something to do with recovering and taking care of your body today. Come onto your hands and knees, and we're going to do a few cat-cows to get you started. So as you inhale, roll those shoulder blades together and down your back, bring your chest forward and look forward. As you exhale, press the ground away from you and arch your back, getting space between your shoulder blades and every vertebra. Just go slow and let your breath guide you. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, arch your back. Come back to tabletop, and now we're going to do 5 bird dogs to get your core warmed up. So start with your left arm, right leg, and reach forward and press your foot away from you, really working to keep your torso as steady as possible. You don't want your shoulders or your hips rocking side to side. Your belly should be engaged, so imagine that you're drawing your belly button to your spine and you're pulling your ribs towards your hips to create that stability. Make sure you continue breathing here. And with each exhale, you can better engage your core, really drawing those ribs in. Separate your knees a little and sit back into child's pose. Just walk those fingers forward to really stretch out those shoulder blades and sides in your upper back. You can rest your head on the mat here. Take a few nice, slow, deep breaths, really letting your breath expand your back even more. Come to a seated position and roll down onto the mat. Draw those knees into your chest and then extend your hands and feet straight up to the ceiling. We're going to do some dead bugs to activate your core a little bit more. Keep with your breathing, and as you inhale, you'll lower your hand and opposite leg away from you, and as you exhale, you'll bring them back up. Again, you're really wanting to keep your torso as still as possible so only your arms and legs are moving. Keep coming back to that breath and that active exhale so that each time you exhale, your core activates a little bit more and pulls your ribs down and engages those core muscles to really stabilize your spine. So keep with your breath. Inhale, lower arm and opposite leg. Exhale, return to start. Pull your knees into your chest. Roll up to seated and slowly come up to a standing position at the top of your mat. You can start in mountain pose with your hands together. And on your next inhale, reach your arms up as far as you can, and then exhale, fold forward. You can bend your knees. We're just trying to get a nice stretch for your hamstrings and your back here. You can hold onto your elbows and let your head hang. Really loosen up your neck, your upper back, your spine, and the backs of your legs. And just hang here, taking slow, deep breaths, letting that breath open up all those tight spots. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold forward again. And then on your next inhale, come all the way back up to stand, stretch overhead, and return to mountain pose. Inhale, sit back into a squat. You can reach your arms up overhead or keep them in front of you in prayer. Feel your legs activating and engaging. Now exhale, fold forward, relax your legs. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, step back into a plank position. And then exhale, lower knees, chest, and chin to the mat. Inhale, arch up to an up dog. And exhale to a down dog. Go ahead and relax here for a minute. Pedal out those feet. You're still trying to really get a lot of movement and space through your back body. So relax that chest down. Let those shoulders relax. Now walk yourself back up to the mat, the top of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Take another breath here and inhale back into that squat position. Feel those legs engage. You can exhale to prayer. Hold that squat. Really get some blood moving through these muscles. Now inhale, release up to stand and stretch overhead and back to prayer. Inhale, lower into a squat one more time. Your hands can be extended overhead or in prayer position, whichever is more comfortable for your neck. Hold that squat and then exhale, fold forward. Hopefully you can get a little more stretch through those hamstrings. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back to a plank. Inhale here. And then exhale, knees, chest, and chin to the mat. Inhale to up dog, stretch, and then exhale to down dog. You can hold here or pedal out your feet, whichever you need. Just take slow, deep breaths while you're here. Now go ahead and walk back up to the mat, the top of the mat. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Let your shoulders hang here. Breathe deep into the back of your spine and the back of your legs. And when you're ready, inhale, back up to squat. Hold here. Squeeze those knees together, really engaging your legs, and your core is engaged here too. Then inhale, stretch up overhead and come back to mountain. I hope your legs are feeling nice and warmed up now. We're going to do a little balance work as well. So inhale here and lift your right knee up as high as you can without bending. You're trying to hold that mountain pose and stand on one leg. Go ahead and switch legs. Raise that left leg as high as you can. You can bend your knee and back to the mat, just warming up those balancing muscles. Now we're going to go into tree. So shift your weight over onto your left leg and bring your right foot up, either resting on your shin or your inner thigh. If you are feeling steady here, you can stretch your arms overhead into the full tree pose, or you can keep your hands folded in prayer at your chest. As you stand here, breathe. Now slowly, without losing your balance, release your foot and see if you can grab onto your big toe. Stand nice and tall. Open your hip out to the side and then extend your leg as much as you can. If you can't straighten it all the way, that's okay. What matters more here is that you're balancing and you're opening that hip out to the side. Go ahead and return back to start. See if you can still maintain your balance and return your feet to the ground. Go ahead and walk out those feet a little bit. We're going to repeat that on the other side. So shift your weight over onto your right leg and bring your left foot up either to rest on your inner thigh or your shin, not your knee. If you did the full tree pose on your other leg, try to do that here and extend your arms all the way up. But if you need to keep your hands together to maintain your balance, that's okay too. Breathe here, nice and slow, long spine. Come back to prayer. Release your foot without letting your foot hit the mat. And go ahead and grab onto your big toe. Rotate your hip open and extend your leg out as much as you can. It's pretty common for one leg to be harder than the other, so again, just focus on your balance and keeping your spine straight and long and breathing. Go ahead and release your foot nice and slow. Try not to lose your balance, and then you can let your foot come back to the mat. Pedal out those feet. I bet your shins are really feeling this right now. Inhale and lower into that squat position. Squeeze your knees together. And now we're going to move into eagle. So lift your right leg off the mat and cross that leg over your left leg. Again, balancing here on your left leg. If this is enough for you, that's fine. But if you want to do the full eagle pose, you're going to cross your left arm on top of your right, and you can wrap your hands around each other back into prayer. When you're done with that pose, release and step your right leg out to the side and lower into a goddess squat. Nice, deep, wide squat. Step back to start. Release here. Inhale, reach up, lower into the squat. And now cross that left leg over your right. Your right arm crosses over your left if you want to do the full expression. You're holding that squat while you're standing here on one leg. You can also bring your elbows forward and lift them up a bit to create some space between your shoulder blades. Release your legs, step your left leg far apart, and lower into that wide stance, temple or goddess squat. Go as low as you can. Feel those legs working. Feel them strong and supporting you. Step back to the middle. Release those legs. Inhale up. Exhale into squat. And you can extend your arms up overhead if it's comfortable for your neck, or you can hold in prayer. Breathe here. Good. Slowly release and step those feet wide apart. You're going to go into the intense leg stretch so we can stretch out those legs. Hinge forward and lower your hands to the mat. You want your feet to be about parallel with each other. It's okay if they rotate slightly out or slightly in, as long as you feel steady here and feel a nice stretch in those inner thighs. You can work at walking your hands back so they're in line with your heels, but just hang as is most comfortable for you. The whole point here is stretching those legs. Slowly move over so both hands are touching your right foot and you're getting a more intense stretch for the right leg. Take a nice slow inhale and then return to start on your exhale. Inhale, reach over to your left foot. Breathe here. And then come back to the middle. Return to that intense leg stretch. See if you can go a little deeper here comfortably while still breathing. And then when you're ready, slowly come back up to stand. Step your feet back together, standing in mountain. And now let's come down to the mat for a seated position. Take a breath here and just relax. You should be feeling the blood flowing a little better through your body. Tight spots should be working their way out. We're going to do a cow's face stretch. So if you're very tight in your hips, you can simply cross your legs. You can also try stacking your shins like I'm showing. And if you're more flexible, you can even stack your knees. So start with your right leg on top. And for the cow's face stretch, you'll reach your arms back behind you with your left arm pointing up, your right arm coming down. And clasp your hands behind your back, or you can use a strap if you'd like. Or you can also just do a basic tricep stretch where you'd use your right arm to stretch your left. You can also turn this into an amazing neck stretch by tilting your head away from the arm pointing up. So tilt your head away from that left arm. And you can play with the angle to see which area of your neck needs to stretch the most. When you're done, stretch your arms behind you to open up your chest. And then we're going to reverse the sides. So uncross your legs and put your left leg on top this time. If you crossed your legs before, just do that again. And you'll do the cow's face stretch with your right elbow pointing up, your left arm clasping from the bottom, and tilt your head away from that right arm and see how well you can stretch your neck. Breathe here. You can play with your neck and see which angle gets the best stretch. You can bring your ear to your shoulder, your chin to your chest, and anywhere in between. Go ahead and reach back, open up your chest, gaze towards the sky, let your neck and chest open, and then uncross your legs. Now we're going to move into a single leg hamstring stretch. So just tuck your left leg into that tree pose position and extend your right leg out. Hinge at your hips. Make sure your chest is pointing straight over your right leg and reach forward towards your foot. You can rest your hands on your shins or grab your foot, grab your toe, wherever it works and feels best for you. Again, you want this to be a comfortable stretch where you can breathe slow and deep. When you're done, go ahead and switch sides. Make sure your chest points straight over your left leg, and then reach forward, hinging at your hips. You're not rounding through your back. Breathe slow and deep here. Make sure your breath can really expand the back of your body. Lengthen your hamstring and lengthen your spine. Good. Slowly sit back up. And now you're going to sit down and roll down onto the mat and come into happy baby. So reach your arms between your legs to grab the back of your calves, or you can grab onto your heels, or you can just hold onto your big toes. But let your knees fall over to the sides of your body and let your legs relax down to get a nice deep stretch through those inner thighs. Make sure you can breathe here. When you're done, pull your knees into your chest and then release your left leg, stretch it out, and cross that right knee over to the left side of your body, opening up your chest and stretching the entire right side of your body and hip. You can turn and gaze towards your right arm. Breathe here, again letting your breath really expand through any tight areas in your hip, side, or chest. Slowly come back to the start. Pull both knees into your chest. Extend your right leg out, and then bring that left leg over to the right side of your body, twisting open. Gaze toward your left hand if it's comfortable for your neck, and breathe into your whole left hip, left side, and left chest. Let your breathing really start to slow down here. Slowly pull up both knees back into your chest, squeeze nice and tight, and release. Let your legs slide down onto the mat. You can either keep them bent or let them extend completely. Relax your body into the mat. And you're going to spend the next couple of minutes just breathing slow and deep, laying here in Shavasana or corpse pose. This time is especially important, so don't skimp here. Just enjoy a few minutes of taking slow, deep breaths and just relaxing into your body and thanking it for all of the work that it has been doing for you recently. slowly start coming back to your body. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, then roll to one side and gently press yourself back up to a seated position. You can have your hands in prayer. Thank your body for all the work it's done today, for all the work it's done leading up to now, and set your best intentions for moving forward. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.